Elena's being quiet today. I wonder if I'm projecting my mad mood onto her. She never bothers me whenever I stand here with a skull on my face. Not like I have to talk to her. Sometimes a whole week goes by where neither of us say anything except good morning and goodbye. She's a young woman in the peak period of her life, and I'm a dried up old man. Okay, John will get on my case for that. You're barely in your 40s. If you are an old man, it means I'm one too. And I'm sure as hell not getting into that boat with you. Still, there's a limit to how much she can humor me with conversation, or how much I can bore her with it. A few quiet weeks go by. A young man gets apprehended for the Jensen murder and confesses to the crime. Says it was an impulse. What a goddamn awful impulse to have. My bad mood passes and things get back to normal. You've got some color in your face today. Huh? You think so? Yeah, good for you, Dave. I don't feel particularly happy or anything, but I guess anything about depressed. It's a pretty good state to be in. Elevator girl must have said something nice to you today. I don't bother replying. If I so much as sneeze, John will think Elena's involved somehow. John clocks out around 7 or so, and I leave a couple hours later once all my work is done. I know I shouldn't think like this, but peaceful times worry me. You know Murphy's Law. All the time, I feel that if I let my guard down, all hell will break loose when I least expect it. Come on, David, don't think about this stuff. I close my eyes and try to think about something more positive. A warm breeze, white sandy beaches. Shit, I shouldn't think about the beach. Oh, someone's leaving at the same time as me. Must be someone from the pharmaceutical company. They are the only ones who ever seem to keep late hours like I do. I've run into the scientists a couple of times. Oh, Detective Carmichael! Elena, what are you? I cut myself off, feeling foolish. Obviously, she's leaving work, just the same as I am. I never seen you leave this late before. Well, I normally leave earlier, but I made a mistake at work today and it took some time to fix everything. What kind of mistake did you dare? This late? I miscopied some papers. Well, to be fair, I was just following orders. I ended up taking the fall for a superior's mistake. Sounds pretty rough. It's nothing compared to what you do, I'm sure. Do you usually leave this late? Something like that. I don't like leaving things half done. I can't believe that. You seem like the meticulous type. You think so? Sure. Once we reach the lobby, we can see the heavy rain outside. Damn, I didn't bring an umbrella. He must be crying today. What? I'm sorry. You just said that someone must be crying today. What did you mean by that? Oh, it's nothing really, She trades off. I've never seen Elena this melancholy before. Press her for details. Wait for her to continue. Wait. There's no point in forcing an answer out of her if she doesn't want to tell me. If the rain is heavy, I'm not exactly keen on rushing out into it, so I can afford to wait. After some silent moments pass by, Elena finally decides to continue. Promise you won't laugh? Not a hard promise for me to make. When I was little, my father died. Seriously, I think my predictions will be good. I'm sorry to hear that. But before he did, he told me something. He said he'd always be with me even if I couldn't see him. He said that if it's sunny, it means he's smiling down at me. And if it's raining, it means he's crying. Something like that. I never could stand it when my father cried, even then. I wonder what he said about today. A man who had no shame in crying in front of his young daughter. That's pretty impressive in its own way. Sounds like you had a very sentimental father. Yeah, he was just that kind of person. He stuffed me and my siblings' heads full of stories. Even now I remember a lot of things he told me and hold our memories close. I suppose it's childish of me to believe in such things, but to forget would be disrespectful. To forgive would be even worse. Your father really cared about you. It's obvious that he raised you well. Think what a good person you are now. Thanks, detective. That's a grand of you. Well, it looks like the rain's letting up, so I won't keep you any longer. See you tomorrow. I never said such a thing to her before, but it just feels right somehow to say it tonight. Doesn't make me sound too eager. Is it foolish of me to feel like this young woman and I are building rapport? Yeah, I'm sure we will. We're making a habit of running into each other, aren't we? I'd say we already met the habit months ago. I guess you're right, detective. We'll see you tomorrow then. I guess you're right, detective. Weird. I'm feeling a sense of déjà vu. Was it from that? Well, Elena and I have talked a lot over the last few months. No doubt she said that to me before. You know, Detective Carmichael, I think you've got to be the most interesting fellow I've ever met in my life. I wish my children could get to know you and learn from you. Macmillan's talking to me again through the double-sided mirror. I don't know how he does it, but he always knows when I'm there. With a sigh, I switch on the intercom. You want your kids to learn from the man who brought you down? I thought you were supposed to be a genius. Think about it. They could learn more about me from studying you. You know me better than anyone, don't you? That's how you could catch me. You had to get inside my head. Is that a jargon? He sounds amused even though what he's saying should be disturbing. And how did you like it? How did I like that? What? The view from inside my head. His tone suggests that he's offended. I didn't get his meaning immediately. It was a dark place. I'd like it very much if I never had to go back there. I suspect you never will. Not after this. You're what, 26 this year? Don't give me that look, David. If you know so much about me, don't you think I'd read up a bit on you? I didn't think you had the time for stuff like that. Why not? I had plenty of time on my hands. Still do, in fact. I contemplate Ashura and the kingdom of heaven constantly. It would be better if you spend the time thinking about all the innocents you killed. Nonsense. Thinking about the dead isn't very productive at all. I only humor a bit during your interrogations because they won't let me talk to you otherwise. He laughs heartily as if he's just made a brilliant joke. If it wasn't you, I'd have to talk to those stuffy prosecutors all day. Very little business, that. And what about my age? So you're curious. When I don't respond right away, he looks just a little bit disappointed but presses on nonetheless. I was just thinking that 26 is a nice age to be. I suspect that you have many years left ahead of you. Before what? Before you go to hell. It's a shame, really. Would have been great fun having you in heaven, but I'm afraid locking me in here isn't getting you many points with God. When you get there, Macmillan, tell your God that I think he's pretty fucked up. -3 points for vulgarity, but plus 1 point for starting to acknowledge his existence. Maybe you will make up for your negative points before you die. That would be delightful. A buzzer sounds from behind me. His family is here to visit him. We're all allowed to do so exactly once a month for about half an hour. I can't help but hope that what he tells them is more pleasant than what he's always telling me. I wake from a dream, from a memory, covered in cold sweat. I grope around in the darkness looking for something, anything, but grasp nothing but air. I've had enough of this. I don't give a shit if Ashura is the real God. I don't want to think about it anymore. I don't want to remember anymore. I have work in a few hours. Better get back to sleep. You seem troubled today, detective. The rain didn't make you catch a cold, did it? No, nothing like that. I had some trouble sleeping. I see, that's a shame. You should leave work early today, then if you're still feeling tired. I hope work isn't too busy today. Yeah, you know what? I think I will do that. We don't have any big cases to work on anyway, so it won't hurt anything. Sorry to worry you all the time. You shouldn't bother so much with an old man like me, Elena. I don't think of you as an old man, detective. Well, I stopped to think of how to respond to that, and noticed that we've gone well past the 54th floor already. It will be my stop soon enough. Wait, we've passed your floor. What? Oh no! I know I pushed the button for my floor. I must have not used enough force. Sorry you have to wait a while longer. It's alright, I don't mind spending a bit more time with you, detective. I'm serious, you ought to spend some more time with fellows around your own age. I remember the look on her face when Elena told me she had nobody to talk to. She doesn't deserve that. Elena deserves someone who will make her feel better when it rains and her father is crying. She doesn't need someone like me who can't even more move on from his past. I step out of the elevator, not intending to say anything else. Maybe I was a little harsh. Minus 100 points, Detective Carmichael. What? I wheel around just as the elevator doors start to close. What was that all about? Did she say points? Well, we are screwed. Dave? John? Was that the elevator girl? Yeah, that's Elena, alright? Elena? Why does that name sound familiar? I've never told you her name before? Nope, it just never came up, I suppose. Elena. You keep tabs on the other companies in this building, don't you? Her name probably came up once or twice. Which company does she work at? Pluma? It's a travel agency, if I remember right. She's a secretary. You always remember right. Pluma. I don't remember a travel agency being in this building, but I could be wrong about that. It's been a while since I've checked. Which floor is she on? The 54th floor. She missed her floor by accident today. She normally gets off before I do. John's eyebrows furrow on confusion. 54th. There's no way. What? Why not? Nobody can work in the 50s in this building. The floors have been sealed off for ages because of some incident from before. A fire or something. They never got around to fixing it all. What? How can that be possible? Well, you've seen her get off on the 54th floor every day, right? Alright, I didn't even think of that. Leave it to an old man to jump to conclusions. Yeah, looked like a normal office hallway to me. I think I would have noticed if the floor was condemned. They might have heated it up recently, then. Like I said, it's been a while since I've checked. Dave? Huh? Oh yeah, I'm sure you're right. Still, I can't get all of this off my mind for the rest of the day. Something is nagging me. Something big. Minus 100 points, Detective Carmichael. I've only ever known one other person to say something like that to me. Come to think of it, her eyes are the same colors as his. I'm a horrified daze. I start going through my files, pulling out all my information on the South Shore killer. I haven't looked at these files in years. With my vivid memories, I thought there was no need to. I had John organize the files for me and then put them away. I even have to dust them off a bit before I sit down. Avery Macmillan. The South Shore killer. Murdered almost 50 people that we know of because he wanted them to go to heaven. He was a fanatic about a religion nobody else believed in, and I caught him. I worked with hired guns and used dirty government money to set up a perimeter, and finally tracked him down. And yet he knew I was on his trail. Everyone always wondered why he insisted on killing people at the beach even when he knew we were on to his pattern. But even after we knew, he eluded us. He would take advantage of camera blind spots or use other people as shields. It's as if he was taunting us, declaring silently that even with our knowledge, we couldn't catch him. In the end though, we still did. I led the team that put him behind bars and delivered the death penalty to him. I watched, expressionless, as they injected him with a poison that would kill him almost immediately. In his last moments, I'm sure he was thinking of his God. Avery Macmillan, known as a loving father and good husband. His neighbors like him and nobody seems to think badly of him at all. He had 3 children who adored him, 2 twin boys and a girl. My heart almost stops when I see the daughter's name, and yet part of me isn't surprised at all. The puzzle pieces fit perfectly, but all too late. Elena. His daughter's name is Elena Macmillan. Frantically, I go through the files more. I knew that. I watched countless times as his family visited him. How could I forget something like that? How could I forget something as important as that?